everybody. Welcome to the BlackFitWitch Dream Oracle. And I want to start it off with saying peace and high frequencies, everybody. I decided to go live because I don't have a lot of space on my phone to record, and that would be A, B, and C. And I didn't want to go through uploading it as well because I got a busy day. I have a busy weekend, and I wanted to kind of talk a little bit. I haven't been on here in a minute. As you all know, that everything is going on, happen to a new phase, slide through a new dimension of life and existence. You know, previously we were talking about the new earth. With new earth, there comes changes. You know, it's gonna be easy. Birthing is never easy. You never heard anybody just have a quiet birthing experience. When you give birth to a child, you're pushing this baby. It could be, I don't care if it's 2 pounds. And some people have 10-pound babies. Through this portal that may be 6 to 8 centimeters dilated, right? But it gets through and it comes through. And guess what? It comes through. Sometimes it's going to cry and come through yelling and screaming, right? Because it came through this portal, and then it calms down. So I want you all to think about that as we are traveling in this reality, in this realm of this earth space together. And we see so many different things that's going on, especially from the government stance to just social stances when it comes down to crime, violence, economics, the dismantling of different institutions that have been in spaces and places for decades upon decades, that are being revised, reviewed, and renewed. And I understand that change can be, you know, a little bit uneasy, and sometimes change can be difficult, right, to get through. But I know for almost all of us, when we went through various changes and we came through on the other side, we saw that it was for our better good. And nothing happens that's not for our better good. I don't care who is the person that's in position. Hey, how you doing? Mystic, TV, and Jay, how y'all doing? Nothing happens just to happen. I don't care who is in this space. I don't care who is in office. I don't care who is, you know, actually taking that position to make these changes. Everything has a higher purpose, and the creator and source makes these things a part of what's going on. We are a part of that creation. Whatever is happening right now, we want that dismantling. Whatever is happening right now, we want it to be reviewed, renewed, and restructured for our better being. And life is going to feel like that. It's ebbs and flows, and we're going to feel ebbs and flows. And I'm feeling like a lot of people are having mental health moments where the uncertainty of what's going to happen on a day-to-day, because, you know, we see on a day-to-day, hey, he's signing this, he's signing that, he's stopping this, he's stopping that. We cannot allow that to take us out of our mental health and mental space. And we got to do those things that we have to have done for us to stay leveled and even keeled. I do want to get into my dream space. I do want to share my dream. I got on here to share my dream, but that pulled up in my spirit, and so I had to share it. So that's what I did. But in the dream space, as I go there, it was with 2 other friends of mine and myself. And I had a friend, she was trying to kill this energy that had been taken over. The best that I can say that it was taken over was like a vampire, but it was a vampire in a way, but it had more so of an energy. It was, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like, you know how you are, the zombies. That's kind of like the closest thing I can say to it. the zombies, the zombies, it had like this zombie energy. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you for sending the zombie energy. And it was like a zombie and a vampire. She was trying to kill it. She couldn't. The only way to kill or to take this type of energy being out was to choke it out. You know, like in all these movies, you have to have a silver bullet or a stake to the heart and all that kind of stuff. Well, in this dream, the only way to take out these types of beings were to choke them out. She wasn't strong enough to choke them out. And if they scratched you or bit you, you could turn too. So she could get them. There was this curtain. So behind that curtain, we were safe. And they couldn't go behind the curtain to get to us, but we still were trying to kill them while we were behind the curtain. It was very interesting. The curtain covered us. It was like our shield. And it was just like material. It was a regular curtain. It was material. It wasn't nothing fancy. But it's just like being, it was like we were on stage. We were behind the curtain, but in front of the curtain was the zombie. He was still trying to get to us. So I stepped up. I was like, okay, I'm going to take him out. So when he thought that we were at one end of the curtain, we weren't. And we were at the other end. I was able to track him without seeing him. Once I went and I caught him, I grabbed him. He tried to scratch me, but he couldn't penetrate my skin. I tried to choke him with my hands, but then I put him in like an arm lock. You know how you put somebody's head in a lock? And it was very interesting in the dream because I've never like choked someone till they died. So even in the dream space of me choking them until he died, kind of, I was loosening up. I felt myself loosening up a bit because I was taking a life and I didn't want to take a life, but I knew I had to because it wasn't a real human being and I had to do what I had to do. So I was choking him. I felt him shaking, and next thing you know, he was like losing life and he died. Right? And then I woke up. Now, I was compelled to really share that with you all today in so many different things and ways and interpretation that dream can take. The curtain, the veil, the zombie, the vampirical. Hey, cat. I always see a cat. The zombie energy, the vampirical energy, having to choke it out instead of driving a stake, silver bullet, have to be physical. You know, we got to be physical right now with shit. We are in a space right now where we can be like, oh, no, we really don't want to do this. We got to choke this shit out. It's certain things in our life, we got to take a hold of it. We got to grasp it, and we have to choke the shit, the living lights out of it. And it's going to be hard because we're not used to having to take things out this type of way. But we got to physically take it out. And that could be some internal things that's inside of us that we got to take out. How that go, Hawk? There could be some people we got to take out of our lives. There could be situations that we've kept ourselves in that we have to physically get ourselves out of. Your dreams are similar. And see, there you go, confirmation. And so my dreams have been in and out. Like I wake up and it's like, ooh, what was that? But last night it stayed in me, it stayed on me, and I felt the need to share that this space that we're growing into government-wise, this space we're going into family, friends-wise, relationship-wise, we're elevating past that. We're going to feel it. We're really going to feel the change. Change is hard. Sometimes it can be challenging emotionally, but we'll get through it. And we're going to have to physically, this dream is sharing with me, we have to physically remove these things that no longer serve us any purpose anymore. They don't serve a purpose for our higher self. They don't serve because right now we are integrated with our higher self. I heard Seven Bomar say this on Understanding when he was live last week. We are not separate. higher self and this self here, we're the same. It's not any different. Yeah, I woke up with scratches and bruises. Right here, this is from last week. I got a scratch here. And on this arm here, you all probably can't see it. It's this long scratch here. I woke up with these scratches on my arm, but I really couldn't even remember what the dream was. And I know when I do that sometimes, when I'm fighting in dreams, it's not for me sometimes to bring all of that back because it can be a lot and it can be heavy. And it's just for my spirit astral plane person to do that work. But it does show up on my body. You're right. Because I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, where do these scratches come from? Thank you for sharing that. Because that is exactly where these came from, the dream space. Um, and so yeah, it's going to be us really, really knowing that our higher self and this physical space self, we are the same. We are not different. We are not separate. Calling on our higher self is us really calling on self. We are higher self. Feeling that, knowing that, walking into that on a daily basis makes us elevate even more, understand even more the cycle that we're in now. Welcome to the spring equinox. I know I didn't say that already, but we're in spring equinox. I think we're going to have, or we already had, or we're getting ready to have some type of, I think we're going to have an eclipse on the end of the month, maybe next week, the 29th. I think it's like a solar eclipse, if I'm not for certain, but it's an eclipse that's happening. We are in this energy of the spring equinox, so that's another portal that's going through. Every time we go into spring, things are starting to bloom. We're starting to come aware. We come awake, and we've been in hibernation in the winter. I've been dealing with a lot of congestion, colds, through this whole winter. I would say from December all the way up to probably a few weeks ago. And so that was a purge that had to occur in order for bloom to come out, in order for the renewed self to come through. So that's what I wanted to share. Hopefully what I share with you all makes sense, or it resonates with someone in some type of way. Thank you all who joined in. I really appreciate the love. I appreciate you all being here. And until next time, I leave you all in peace and high frequencies, everybody.